Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. Last time we finished off the galaxies in the terrace, so now it is time to step on into the fountain. Our next dome. So, I say we get a good look at this view real quick, and that's the shaded area. So as you can see, we already have most of it lit up, but that part's darkened out. But I say we go ahead and get into the fountain and get this thing started. As you can see, we have another new aesthetic here in this new dome. Very peaceful. And we have a new galaxy that we have unlocked. And it is Space Junk Galaxy. So let's go ahead and launch ourselves into the Space Junk. And our first star is going to be the Pole Star Path. As you can see, we have many different pole stars that we're going to be using to pull ourselves throughout this galaxy. So this is kind of the main gimmick of this one. Like many, or really all the galaxies have, usually feature a specific gimmick. This one's going to be dealing with pole stars. So this is where we're going to get a little bit more pole star practice in. As you know, there's a pole star in each dome that just simply pulls us up to the different galaxies. These pole stars are going to allow us to proceed throughout this galaxy. So it's kind of nice that they give you a little bit of practice with these, because they're all actually going to be very important coming up later on for other galaxies as well, where we're going to have kind of like a time trial mission. I think there's a couple other missions where you're basically required to use those a lot to kind of gain some momentum and collect a few collectibles. But this one, we're simply just collecting these star chips, and we're going to go ahead and form our next launch star to get us to the next area. And again, I love the aesthetics of this galaxy. There's a bunch of ball looking things. And now we are on a ship, and if you played a lot of other Nintendo games, I think you might recognize this ship from another popular game as well. So I'm not going to reveal what it is, but those that know, and those that don't know, well, I'm sure you can figure it out. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get to the tip top here. I don't think there's anything up there, actually. Get to these pole star ball things, I guess is what I would call them. And we will pull ourselves from one ball to the next. And these canes can be a little bit tricky, because they are, the gravity on these things are pretty different, but we want to continue to pull ourselves through this little maze here, as so. And I gotta say, I love the and it wouldn't be an episode of one of my Let's Plays if I don't comment on the aesthetics in the background and the wonderful designs of the games. But that background back there was just amazing. Just kind of seeing like the it just looks this game kind of goes very realistic with its graphics, and it makes it look like you're actually in outer space. I love how real it goes for this being released on the Wii, many years back. It's pretty cool that they were able to make things look so realistic even back then. We'll go ahead and free all these toads from these ice crystals, and then that will summon, looks like Captain Toad's ship. Captain, how could you? He just left his other toads behind, and we're gonna leave the Goomba in case, because he's a jerk, and we don't really need him freed from the ice crystal. Let's talk to Captain Toad. As brave captain of the Toad Brigade, I've already discovered a shortcut to the Power Star. Take the Sling Star at the top of the Star Shroom. There's a shortcut on top of I guess the ship's called a Star Shroom. I did not mean to fall back down. Let's get back on top of this thing. Take the Sling Star, and we have our next part of the galaxy. I love this area. This is one of my favorite functions as well, where it looks like you obviously have these platforms that kind of assemble as Mario gets near them. But now we're going to be collecting our silver stars. So silver stars will kind of show up frequently throughout the game in different galaxies. But basically what you want to do is you want to collect all 5 of them, and then that'll get us to our next Power Star, and this galaxy in particular. I can see we have 4, so we have 1 more to find. But yeah, I love the function of these platforms assembling and disassembling as Mario gets closer or farther from them. Such a brilliant idea, and it's displayed very well here. But we have our 5th and final silver star, which is going to get our Power Star. We'll go ahead and see if we can get back over there and collect that. We get these platforms to come up. Where is it at? Oops. Wait. Oh, darn it. Into the black hole we go. Alright, so now that I am back up on this platform, we're going to try this again. I don't think I was going in the right direction for that platform to come up. For some reason, I misremembered where that other platform is supposed to assemble. So we'll try this again, go in a different direction. Try not to fall into the black hole this time. There it is. Okay, so I wasn't going, I was going more left, not down. That's my mistake. But hey, things happen, mistakes happen. We're all human. So let's just go ahead and move back down, and we'll grab our first power star of the galaxy. Very nice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go back into space junk for our next power star. This one is going to be Camella's airship attack. And as you can see, the airships have made their return, and they are in full force, and those octopus enemies have returned as well that spit out those little green and fireballs. So we're gonna go and see what's going on here. And we have a yellow, I love that we have a yellow starship here. That's kind of cool. Right next to the regular one. I don't think they show that one a lot in other galaxies. Mario, my brigade boarded the enemy fleet and none have returned. As captain, I would go and save them myself, but I'm too busy at the moment and scared. Yeah, you're a coward, Toad. You're not a captain, you're a coward. Just kidding. But no, this kind of, you know, reiterates kind of what I've been talking about in the beginning of the Let's Play, where Toads are just known to be cowards. I mean, they're not, I guess not cowards, they're just not as brave as, you know, the hero Mario here. So luckily Mario is here to save the day and do all the hard work, and they can just sit back and watch it happen. But yeah, so now we're on Bowser's airships again. I love the airships. Like, they look so cool. It looks like you're it kind of brings back memories from Super Mario Bros. 3 when you're going through the different airship levels. I always love those levels back on that game. They bring them back to in this game in 3D platforming style, and they look so cool in this. I love it. We'll go and grab this one up. We don't really need it, but might as well grab it. Take the Sling Star up to this airship, and we have some more goodies up here. Take care of these Goombas, good old-fashioned Mario style. And as you can see, we have some treasure chests and a Koopa shell. Let's go ahead and break this Toad open and see if he can give us, or these guys, see if they give us some hints. This says, hit the treasure chest with the shell. If you're carrying the shell, you can use the Wii remote and shake it to throw the shell into the chest, and that busts open the chest. That's the only way you can do that. So that's kind of nice that you're able to kind of use the Koopa shells as kind of like a weapon. And they actually are very useful for breaking open various chests, and we'll actually use those a lot later, and later on galaxies that will get us more power stars later on. So but now we have some magic Koopas. These things are kind of annoying, but I usually try to take them out as quickly as possible, so that way they're not casting different attacks at you, and they can just kind of be annoying. So but typical magic Koopa stuff, you know, that's kind of what they do. And we are on the next area here, so we take care of this Goomba, see what's in this item block. And if we can do this right, long jump over here, pull ourselves up on this star, and jump and fall down this pipe. And we are now inside the airship. So this is a nice look on the inside. Nice little, I guess, secret or whatever if you're not, you know, if you kind of skip over this part. But it's kind of cool to see the inside of the ship. It looks very detailed. Obviously not a lot going on in here. But it's kind of cool that they allow you to kind of go inside and kind of take a look at it. Kind of nice. But we're gonna go ahead and go back up on the top of the ship. Take care of this other treasure chest. We have two of them. Might as well grab this extra life shroom, give us some extra hits. Not get hit by that Koopa and lose it already. Take care of these guys. As you can see, they're not throwing the green balls at us. So what we have to do is avoid the fireballs. Talk to this guy. If a shell is just out of reach, you can still spin to pick it up. So yeah, that's actually kind of nice to do as well. But what we're gonna need to do is take this Koopa, or these Koopa shells, and throw them at these guys to destroy them this time. Stupid octopus is blocking my way. I bet a few shells will take care of them. And these Toads are just fired up, man. They're always fired up, but they're all talking, no show. They end up just chickening out, but they have some words. But yeah, this is kind of nice to be able to utilize the Koopa shells in this way. And like I said, you'll be able to see more uses out of it later on. Let's take this next Sling Star up, and we have a nice looking, fancy looking airship here. So I wonder who this belongs to. And we have Camilla, the Magic Koopa herself, with a Power Star in her wand. So yeah, so this is another mini boss fight. So we're going to go ahead and take care of this thing. Basically what you want to do is simply enough is you want to wait until she casts you a Koopa shell. Take the Koopa shell and throw it at her. So not too hard. Very simple concept. Just make sure you avoid the fireballs that she throws at you as well. And you will be good to go. I believe she takes like 3 or 4 hits like most of the bosses in the game. So nothing complicated about it other than I think she will spawn some other regular Magic Koopas to attack you as you hit her more. So you'll see here, I think she might do it here. Yep, right there. So she will spawn her little minions to cast fireballs at you. I recommend just taking them out like so immediately so they do not get in your way. And then of course when that shell is spawned, make sure you pay attention to that so that way you can grab it, throw it at the Magic Koopa, and end this thing quickly. Yeah, this fight's not really hard. There's another mission later on where you have to deal it with 1 hit point. I'll kind of talk about that later on because there's a lot of extra missions that you'll find later on. But as you can see, we've already took her down, which breaks her wand, which opens up another Power Star. So let's go ahead and grab it. Alright, so we are now going to go ahead and tackle the 3rd Power Star mission of Space Junk, and it is Tarantoxic's Tangled Web. Alright, so it looks like we have a lot more to explore. We have that spaceship again that we saw earlier. And we have now arrived back on the starships. Or the Star Shrooms, I guess as they're called. A brave Brigade Toad went to search for the Power Star. He went off to that planet and hasn't been seen since. You think he's okay? I don't know, you're the captain. I mean, aren't you supposed to be in charge of your toads? I mean, that's not really my job, but hey, I'm not going to judge, you know, it's just something that happened and we're here to save the day. So, you know, they do what they do. They're toads. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and pole star our way around this area once again, except this time we're going to go over to the center giant ball-shaped planet over here. Now as you can see, there's a launch star beneath us, but we can't quite get in there yet. So you just want to basically just go over here, jump into this. And we have another little maze looking thing in here. So now we are beneath the surface. And we can take this launch star to break out of it. I love that animation. And we busted through a little crystal thingamabob to get more star bits. I love the way those crystal things look. And we are on to the next area. Take out these little beetle guys. And it looks like that toad that Captain Toad was looking for is over here, and he's stuck on this, whatever this is. We just got to aim our Wii pointer at this thing, and we can sling him from this platform to the next. And we can also do that ourselves. I believe these things are called sling pods, if I remember correctly. But basically what we want to do is just sling ourselves over to the ship over here. Take care of these guys, get them out of our way. Or not. That works too. We'll go ahead and grab an extra life shroom. There we go. And we will sling ourselves over to the next location. We have a small little tiny itty bitty platform here, but we can platform on it just fine. So, and get hit by that beetle, that bouncing beetle. You always gotta love the bouncing beetles, man. But what we have to do is now sling ourselves into here, and this breaks open, revealing a little area in here. So we have the green toad. Get him unstuck, talk to him. Eek, Mario, what is this thing? I don't know. Let's take a look. Looks like a giant web ball. Oh. And Tarantox was born. So yes, this is Tarantox. He is basically the three-eyed, I guess, spider-type creature enemy thing. But basically what we want to do is just take these sling pods, sling ourselves through him, and you really want to aim for his big old booty there that's glowing green and red, because that'll flip him over. And then that'll reveal his underside, which he looks like he's got 3 of those glowing squishy things on his underside. We want to bust all of them using the sling pods to sling Mario through them. And that will be the way to basically damage this guy and to defeat him. So we want to do the same thing again, except this time he's going to spit out his little acid from his sides of his body. I don't know if that's like poison, like venom. But we definitely want to avoid that. As you can see, we're not doing a great job at it. Mario's getting just completely obliterated by this venom or whatever this stuff is. It's really nasty. I don't want that green liquid stuff in my face either. We want to get to the back side to get to his booty again, and we want to sling into it, flip it back over, do the same thing again. So yeah, most of the bosses in this game are just simple repetition with a couple different phases, usually 2 or 3. Usually it involves the boss getting very, angry and very frustrated. But as you see, we took him down, flung him through the spider web. But yeah, most bosses will just have a couple different phases, and you just have to do a lot of repetition. But now we're going to sling ourselves, not quite into the power star that time, but this time, boom, right into it. And that is our 3rd power star of the galaxy. All right, so we're at 13. We're getting there, man. We're in double digits. Things are getting real. And another hungry Luma has appeared. That's interesting. Still not going to quite do anything with it yet, though. We'll save those for a little bit later. It seems that a prankster comet has appeared somewhere. Prankster comets have very strange effects on galaxies. If you want to learn more about these curious comets, ask a Luma who knows about such things. So yeah, so the prankster comet has made its appearance. Again, these guys are really not required for the game. They basically just do, well, I guess I'll kind of leave that for later and kind of explain that once we get to some other galaxies later on. So we'll kind of not really talk about that yet. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, we're gonna go ahead and explore the next galaxy that we have unlocked. And I think we're going to go ahead and see if we get some more power stars done. But until then, I will see you guys later.